What is up, dudes? Angry Grandpa, welcome back. Last year I've done a video about what's the best tier 5 premium MBT, obtainable or not, and today we're gonna do the same, but this is for 2022. We have a few premiums in the game. One of them it is the Chieftain MK11, the Object 279, the reigning champion, put it in quotes, 272 Victory, T72 AV, T72 M1, Tier 85 M1, the Bison or Bisonal, Type 74, which is from a previous battle path. Last year Object 279, I chose him because it was a very suitable tank for playing quite aggressive, being in the first line, having a good damage per high explosive, because at small tiers you can do a lot more damage with high explosive than with AP, but it has a very sturdy armor. You may see that it has a small potion, but if you angle your tank a bit or in sideways and stuff like this, in some situations, even in PvP and PvE, this tank can survive a lot of shells and a lot of damage. And I saw a lot of players in PvP playing with this tank and doing tremendous amount of damage with them and surviving also at tier 5. Today you're gonna see which one of these tanks is the newest and actually the best currently 2022 tier 5 MBT. So Chieftain MK11. It is a tank that you can play aggressive with him, but also for sniping, and I will usually use him for just sniping. It has an issue with ammo rack and so on. The armor isn't there and can take a lot of beating. This lower plate can trigger this thing, and that's why I didn't choose him last year and not even now. T79 is gonna be here for a comparison. T72 Victory, T72 Ash or Active, whatever it's called, and T72 M1 that's been introduced last year. There are some differences between two of these tanks. Victory is like the T72 progressive as a premium. The gun, it is not the same as with some other tanks. So if we compare, let's say, T72 Victory with the other ones, you may see a slightly change in heat penetration, AP rounds, APFS, DS and whatever. So you may see that AV is much better on penetration, even on damage, on high explosive, even on penetration on AP rounds. T72 M1 is much better than T72 Victory. So it's like T72 AV is first, T72 M1 second, and T72 Victory the third one. The next tank, it is the Tier 85 M1 Bisonal. This tank you can find him in the battle pass, the current battle pass we have now. But in the future is gonna be also in the battle shop and also in the shop where you can buy him for a limited amount of time. Gonna be interesting to have this tank if you haven't got him already. What's interesting about him? It doesn't have a very powerful gun when it comes to heat, but it has a very good damage per minute. You can play aggressive and sniping, and you have to finish a lot of contracts in order to unlock some of these things for him. Ain't gonna be easy, but the moment you're gonna upgrade, you're gonna see major differences with this tank. However, by the armor itself frontally, same issue as with the Chieftain and some other tanks, but not always gonna have this problem. Sideways is the same as with the Burlak, the tier 8 premium. Type 74. Now this tank is been in a battle path. There is a problem with this tank. Indeed, it has the same feature as tier 85 M1 to have a clip. Problem is the damage output and the armor of the tank. This is a light tank in disguise. Is not a very heavily armored tank that can take a lot of beating. Doesn't have so much protection. Doesn't have side skirts as tier 85 or even T72 AV, or doesn't have any dynamics in order to protect your tank and get any shells bounced. You know, Type 74 is more for a sniping. Now, among all of these four tanks, which one do you guys think is the best one? Do you prefer to have a tank that is first line, or do you prefer a tank that has a clip, again, or that has a very decent gun, but having chances to trigger fire very easily than the other ones? Currently in the game, the way the game it is, we have to be aggressive players, and sometimes in some situations you're gonna end up being the last person in your team, or at least the only one that can carry the team, to be the best one, to have all of it and so on. My opinion, it is that tier 85 currently it is the best tank in the game at tier 5 period. The second one, it can be either T72 AV or Type 74 or Object 279. If I will say today in the present, the way the game it is, I will go with tier 85 M1 and Type 74. I would not go any longer with T72 AV or Object 279. Why? Because now the AI is very aggressive, sometimes they can target you, and if you don't get the tank down, they gonna haunt you. You're gonna see some AI following you, the superior ones, the lieutenants, they gonna follow you so that they can kill you because you're reloading, and that sometimes is very funny to see it. So I will go with T85. Why? Well, hit points, they're very decent, armor is also decent, mobility is very decent, quite a fast tank. The camouflage, it is basically as to any MBT in the game, not the best one, but there are some MBTs that have better camouflage. Visual range is decent, and I highly advise you to use a augmented optics V2 for visual range to be able to spot. And gun depression, gun elevation, it's in between, like it's not like with Object 279, but it's not worse, let's say like T72 AV to put it out or stuff like that. It's in between and it's fine, it's very fine. Good damage per minute, good reloading time, and can be improved with better retrofits, a better commander, a good crew. I'm not gonna do any gameplay, but if you want to see me playing with this tank, you can go in between my videos. You're gonna see him free maps and free styles. Tell me what you think about this video and what do you think about this tank. And thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time. Peace out.